Hail, and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be discussing a video regarding healing magic. So we will be discussing what healing magic is, we will be discussing how you can utilize it, and various other things in that vein. So, like I said, welcome back, and I've decided to make this video in relation to my recent videos on how do I know that I've been cursed, in relation to how to protect yourself, that sort of thing. So I wanted to build on that a little further, and we will also be discussing the topic of how to know if I am haunted next time that I upload a video. Now, before I begin, please understand, due to the nature of this particular topic, because it's healing magic, please do not get the wrong idea here. I want to be very clear on this. I do not support the use of magic and or other holistic issues in the sense that you should rely on it as a crutch instead of seeking medical treatment for a variety of things. So, as always, I would like to say use magic and holistic treatments as a supplement and not as a main remedy for things. That is to say, if you suspect that you have any sort of condition, a medical condition, a mental health condition, or if you are feeling suicidal, if you're feeling depressed, if you are in any way, shape, or form feeling that there is something not right with your body or your mind, or both, please do consult a medical professional or a mental health professional of the appropriate nature and stripe that can assist you with this particular topic. I do in no way, shape, or form condone the usage of magic as an alternative for secular treatments, for secular science, and things of that nature. So what you do with this information provided in this video, please understand that this information is provided as is. Please also understand that this information is in no way, shape, or form meant to be gospel, of course. It is not, empirically proven in the scientific community that any of this works. I personally obviously believe in it. Many believe in it. Therefore, seek medical attention if you need it. Seek, a mental health professional if you are in need of one, and do not rely on magic as a substitute for any and all of these things. Now, with that out of the way, let us continue. And yes, I am kind of covering my bases, but I also don't want any of you to be foolish with the information that I'm going to be providing and have you rely on it as a crutch instead of, seeking secular assistance. So, with that said, what is healing magic? Healing magic is, as the label says, a magical ritual that is meant to heal or at least assist with healing in a variety of ways, usually addressing a spiritual illness that manifests in a variety of ways. Now, the shamanic principle, of course, dictates, a very ancient principle, that everything starts in the spiritual and that we see the results, that is, as a result of the trickling down of that spiritual issue, which trickles down into the physical reality in which we currently reside. Now, as a modern practitioner, I would like to alter that statement a little bit. I do not agree with it. There are, of course, such things as bacteria that make us sick, such things as viruses that make us sick. There are, of course, physical bodily harm. I mean, if you get into a car accident and you bash your head against the windshield and you get a concussion, that has little to do directly with the spiritual, unless, of course, the spirit perhaps got you into that car accident. But even so, the issue that you are facing in terms of your health now, in terms of perhaps your mental health, in terms of your physical health, these things are very much physical in nature. If you, by accident, cut off your own arm while working with a chainsaw, that is, a part of physical injuries. These are obviously not going to be recovered through the usage of healing magic. So when I refer to healing magic, I am mostly, if not exclusively, talking about spiritual issues that are at the root of various things that may be wrong with a person. And this may take the form of a curse, this may take the form of a generational curse, of a hex, of a spirit that is perhaps following you, that is attached to you. This may take the form of somebody subconsciously influencing you. For example, if you are dealing with someone who utilizes black magic to that kind of end, to manipulate your mind, to influence your mind, to make you do certain things, stuff like that. These are indeed all issues that start in the spiritual in some way, shape, or form. It is also possible that you perhaps may be dealing with a past life trauma that is unresolved on a soul level, which may need to be addressed because you, of course, retain information, both positive and negative, from past lives. You may have a contract with a spirit that is harassing you because you're not giving them what you promised them in a past life, perhaps, or even maybe in this life. So these are all things that you need to take into consideration. These are all things that you need to be aware of when we are talking about healing magic. It is a very broad term. Usually it usually it refers to the spiritual aspect of things. And going by that principle of things trickle down from the spiritual into the physical reality, this is of course reversed with healing magic. If something negative has been done to you, for example, through the utilization of a curse, then you will often find that healing magic will A, strip away this curse, and B, reverse the damage that it has done. Now, of course, it is possible that a curse that is, for example, meant to target one's health, it is possible that such a curse will go on long enough to actually start doing issues. Now, in that case, again, I still do advise that you do seek the appropriate medical treatment. So secular science obviously does not believe in magic. However, as believers of magic, we understand that magic very much has the capability of doing that kind of damage. But that does not mean that once that damage has already been done, that just performing healing magic on it will necessarily fix it. So in that case, again, I would still advise you to seek the appropriate assistance. As I have mentioned in my little disclaimer at the beginning of this video, again, it is a touchy subject, and I will be reiterating this here and there where I feel it is necessary. Because again, I don't want any of you to do anything stupid, and I also, of course, need to cover my bases here that nobody's going to, come to me and say, oh yeah, you recommend that I do this. It's for some reason not been enough and stuff like that. So please understand that. Thank you. So it is very much possible in a variety of ways to address such spiritual issues, such as curses, crossings, generational curses, to address perhaps even spiritual possession, which we will be getting into later, through the utilization of healing magic in its many, many forms. Now, so healing magic is exercised through the utilization of, for example, baths, with the utilization of herbs, with incantations, through rituals. One can do it through visual means, perhaps, for example, mandalas. You can utilize it through sounds, mantras, chants, stuff like that. As I said, invocations, evocations, and all sorts of manifestation even can be utilized. Healing magic is just a branch or moniker for magic in general that is meant to heal, not necessarily a separate branch of magic, because magic is of course all about intent. Therefore, when I say that it is healing magic, it is magic utilized to the extent to the intent of healing something. So you may perhaps be wanting to perform a spell. You may want to do this either by yourself. You may want to do this with a group of people. You may want to petition helping healing spirits. You may want to petition deities. Maybe make contracts or bargains with them in that sense, in that manner, in order to facilitate the healing that needs to take place. Another very potent form, of course, of spiritual energetic healing is Reiki. Of course, that is a form of energy manipulation that deals with the manipulation of energy of the energetic bodies in order to realign things, in order to extract negative energy and stuff like that. Now, I am personally not a very well-versed practitioner in Reiki, so I will not be speaking out too much about it because, frankly, as someone who does not know enough about it, I don't feel that it is my place to do so. However, I am very well versed in the taking of ritual baths, in the taking of performing spells, rituals, using sound and visualization, manifestation, etc., in order to perform magical healing. So that is mostly what we will be addressing through this video. There are plenty of videos if you are interested in learning Reiki on YouTube that you can go to for basics, for 101 tutorials, for basic information on what Reiki is and how it is utilized and how it is practiced. So I will leave that up to those people who are actually specialists in it. I do have a friend who is a Reiki master. However, I have not spoken at length with her, or at least not enough with her on the matter to inform you and, provide an education in that department. So, why practice healing magic? Healing magic is magic that you practice, as I said, with the intent of remedying illness of a variety of natures, usually spiritual, like curses and stuff like that. So in some cases, it will not be possible to outright heal something with healing magic for various reasons, again, as I outlined. However, that does not mean that it cannot, from an energetic manifestation perspective, of course, help. That is why I said use holistic and magical tools as a supplement to perhaps secular treatment if you so need it. Now, of course, there is no secular treatment for the dealing with curses and other sorts of baneful workings and spirits and all that stuff, because the secular sciences do not believe or acknowledge that such things exist, which is why mainly we will be addressing here, and for everything else you can go to the secular department for the appropriate remedies. So, in some cases it might not be possible, to get back to my story, may not be possible to outright remedy something, either because the magic may have already done enough damage in order for it to, and in that sense, absolutely do to utilize magic, healing magic, to strip the source of the curse away, of course, and to prevent it from doing it. Also assist, of course, with helping you manifest your own health better. In that case, manifest your health improving, to help you be positive through the healing process, to make sure that you can, afford remove a curse before it can do damage. You will want to remove a negative entity before it can do damage. You will want to assist somebody with, proper manifestation on themselves. You practice healing magic in order to remove energetic and spiritual toxins. You practice it to remove curses, jinxes, crossings, hexes. You practice it to make a person on an energetic level feel better, to remedy spiritual ailments, to help address past life traumas, etc. So, how should I use healing magic? The answer to that is pretty much like with every other magic. There's no real right or wrong answer there. Now, of course, there, I suppose, is a wrong answer if you're going to misuse it, but really it's healing magic. How could you misuse it other than the methods in which I already outlined earlier, where you are going to use it as a replacement for secular treatment rather than as a supplement to it, which is what I personally would recommend. Now, healing magic really should be used in a way that you are most comfortable, in which you are most happy expressing it and utilizing it. If you are someone who works a lot with music, you can perform healing magic through music. You can perform healing through drawings, such as, like I said, mandalas. You can use it to maybe draw evocative art. If you are someone who is trying to heal yourself, perhaps you can utilize it through painting or drawing something that has been bothering you, or perhaps a past life trauma. You can paint it out, draw it out, express it that way, and almost with the intent of, well, not almost, but with the intent of extracting it onto a external object, for example. Of course, in that sense, I would recommend that you take precautions, that such things are taken care of and perhaps even properly disposed of, or at the very least warded, if you go by such a method. Another alternative method of doing it, of course, is just by casting a spell, if the situation so calls for it. Another way to do it is, as I mentioned, take baths of a variety of natures. Perhaps you will want to have candles, perhaps you will want to have incense, perhaps you will want to have herbs, perhaps you will want to have crystals utilized in your healing magic. Perhaps you will want to do rituals with groups in order to facilitate healing for something or someone. You will want to perhaps create teas or tinctures. I would say that for every spiritual ailment there is a cure. However, do not become rigid in your ways. Be open to experimentation. Be open to doing rituals that you are not accustomed to doing. Be open to addressing certain things, because every curse is as varied as every remedy that there is for a set curse. So keep an open mind, and keep your magical toolkit and arsenal varied, and keep it innovative. That is my primary recommendation here when it comes to designing rituals. So again, how should I not use healing magic? Do not try to use it to, cure cancer. Don't try to, rid yourself of an STD that you caught the other night. Don't try to rid yourself of a flu. Bad idea. It's not going to help. Don't, try to remedy like a dismembered limb or something. So what are some examples of utilizing healing magic? Like I said, you can take baths, you can make teas, you can make tinctures, you can perform spells, whether that is a spell that could directly remove a curse, so basically an uncursing ritual, whether that is something that is done through baths or through, writing things on a piece of paper, whether that is done through sound, whether that is done through visualization, manifestation, or visual art in some way, shape, or form, such as, again, mandalas. These are all possibilities, and I have often said that really the amount of cures for spiritual ailments are as varied and as unique as that there are curses and crossings and issues with unwanted spirits. Now, this video was meant to be a very short introductory video for healing magic. I will be building off of this. I will be doing a video specifically that aims at utilizing water magic or sea magic, which is something that I have worked with Njord with and will work with Njord with in the future, and as part of my further initiation into Lagus. Which is, of course, the rune I am being initiated in, if you haven't seen any of my previous videos. Currently, for the Elder Fufark initiation, which I am undergoing. Lagus is the rune of water, it is the rune of healing, among other things, a rune of psychic intuition, of opening these things back up. It's also a rune of embracing the feminine energies, of that nurturing aspect as such. And I will be getting into a variety of other things. My next video, as stated, will be how to know if I am haunted. And after that, we will be discussing a variety of different shamanic healing techniques, approaches to resolving issues with ceremonial magic, because I also have experience with that in past lives and in this life. We will be getting into a lot of different, hopefully very interesting things for you guys, such as, spirit removal, entity removal, addressing of astral parasites, of astral attachments. Down the line, I even want to discuss tulpas and servitors who have become unruly, who have gone rogue. If you happen to, as I mentioned in my servitor video, if they have, for example, gotten out of hand and you didn't build in a destruction word or a safe word, no pun intended, where, applicable, what to do then, how to remedy that. So basically this video is going to be the first in a series which I'm going to be naming Alu is Urki, which is a statement that basically means may it be of help. So this is going to be a very separate series as to what you are used to from me. For example, the Elder Fufar Rune Divination 101 series is for my runes, for my runic initiation. Then there's the magical systems, and then there's the gods and goddesses series, and then this will be a separate series which is going to be dedicated specifically to combating and remedying, both combating and remedying, so not just healing. All sorts of spiritual maladies, spiritual ailments, and what else have you. That is also going to involve counter cursing, is going to involve reversing curses, how to reflect curses back to people who sent them at you. So, basically striking the individual that initially wanted to strike you with the same thing. I will be discussing how to recover from being involuntarily possessed, or from being voluntarily possessed, which got out of hand significantly. I will be discussing certain myths and falsehoods, such as that spirits are stronger than human beings, as is often propagated by many modern religions, such as the Abrahamic religions, which obviously always teach that human beings are lower on the totem pole than disembodied individuals, which is, of course, nonsense. We are spirits. We merely are bound to a particular vessel. Many spirits are indeed bound to a particular vessel, even if they are themselves discarnate or not currently incarnate. So these are all the things and myths and all sorts of stuff that we will be discussing and addressing over the next section of videos that we will be addressing. Of course, in between that, I will also be uploading different videos, among which my runic initiation videos, of course. But at the end of the day, all of these are, of course, intertwined. They are all, part of the greater whole. They are basically an online documentation, of course, of my findings into the paranormal. One very interesting video that I will be making very soon is a video on the Ophanim, or the throne angels, and I am putting quotation marks around the word angel there. The reason for that is going to become clear as I make this video, as I will be uploading this video. It will likely be a part of my Excarnating the Lamb series, because it is applicable to Yahweh. It is applicable to Christianity in particular, particularly those that end up very high up on the totem pole in Christianity. In my case, that was in a past life, not in this life. But I will be discussing details there. So if you look up Ophanim or the Wheels of Gaugelin, you will see, of course, a golden ring, two golden rings intertwined, which spin around each other with eyes on the outside. And there is a very sinister application, a very sinister background to these supposed angels. Now, if you read the Bible, you will understand that they're not actually technically angels, that they are in fact constructs, astral constructs, and that they do not have a consciousness in and of themselves. So we will be getting into stuff like that, how that is relevant to me and how that may be relevant to you or someone you know. I will also be enlightening you on how to deal with it and how to remedy it, how to remove and extract entities, how to undo curses, etc., etc. So this concludes my Healing Magic 101 video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, offer me ideas for things that you would like to see videos on if you have a mind to see a particular thing discussed by me. I am open to suggestions. I cannot promise that I will take all suggestions, of course, or that I will take all offers of topics that you are going to be giving me. Excuse me, that was my desk chair. Or that I will address your particular topic as mentioned. But I will do my best, and I will see what captivates my imagination and what captivates my interest, what piques my interest, and what I can come up with on a particular topic if I have knowledge on it. Of course, if I don't know anything about it, then I'm not going to be making a video on it before I, at the very least, strongly research and experiment with it, because that would be, well, rather hypocritical of me. I mean, I can't really sit here and, preach about things that I have no first-hand experience with or knowledge of when it comes to the metaphysical. So, yeah. That concludes this video. I hope that you had a great time watching this. I hope it was at least somewhat informative, despite its relatively, for my doing, short length, and that it was a relatively generalized video. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hell.